times over, but I think I have something. I'm serious. If I may, I know our encounter with the hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that? Because he was stopping us, implying that we were getting closer to it. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him?
It does seem awfully coincidental now that you put it that way. I don't have to believe anything to recognize a pattern that's worth checking out.
I know, it's about commitment to each other, the universe, but the Grav Jump pilgrimages take universals all over. Maybe they know something? I'll meet you over there.
Sorry. I've been lost in thought.
I need to inventory all our equipment and other odds and ends for damages.
We'll make it feel that way again. We'll get through this. Those Starborn aren't gonna stop us.
I have never quite been able to think of New Atlantis as home. Though I suppose I should. Ah, yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed.
Beat the shit out of them, sometimes.
We should talk to the Keeper.
Well, not quite what I was thinking, but that's...
Keeper Aquilas? Can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds? Oh, of course. Anything for one of the faithful. Is this maybe about the Grav Jump pilgrimages, or you seen something in the darkness between the stars that troubles you?
Not exactly. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps you should talk about this inside. Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
We've lost people, Keeper.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And these Starborn, I take it they're different from the people of the settled systems? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe. Beyond rational thought, we enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. I'm not sure if he was, but if what you're looking for is connected, then anything might be possible. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun, and he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code, a way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave? But what if it does? Not my version, obviously, but the House of Enlightenment. Varun. I've spoken to them before, but I never thought of scrutinizing their answers for clues. Oh yes, typically. But there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I've visited her a couple of times. Hopefully, she'll be willing to talk to you as well. And if you need directions to the Enlightened, they have a branch in the Well helping the poorest citizens of New Atlantis find a better life for themselves. Oh, and here, take this. You're a member of the Sanctum after all, and this is the beginning of a pilgrimage of sorts.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
Here, I have something for you. Yes, well, it seemed like a good idea. I saw it earlier and thought you might like it. Or find it useful. Or, well, whatever. Of course. We are partners, are we not? I will keep an eye out in the future. And if I see something, I might hold on to it for you.
Our numbers are growing every year. Aquilis's message really connects with people.
The first time, I try and take a few trips each year now. No real destination in mind, it's the jumping that matters.
Always a satisfying moment.
Greetings, Captain.
Yeah, the way you handle things, not bad. Not bad.
I'm working hard, Captain.
I do find that statue pleasing. I wonder if it matches the original vision of the artist, or if they changed the design as they worked on it.
Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at.
A visitor? I have all the company I need. He knows not the truth. He sends another to ask more incessant questions. The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less. Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the Unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. I have heard of no such thing. If it exists, it is a shadow that the Great Serpent casts to deceive the faithless. Then we are done. Leave me.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn it.
Having a good one? I think I got them. What do you call them?
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the well. A lot of people in need. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, you're not? Sorry. Can I help you? Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilas is describing. Yeah, I mean, he's always going on about trying to bring people of all beliefs together. Really wants there to be some shared story or origin. Look, I like the Keeper, but belief is the problem, okay? We don't need a shared narrative or theology. We need to help each other in practical terms. A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of 2 what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of 2 that. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. besides what the Keeper would say about it? Sounds like a gathering point, or a center. Or in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one, the first at the beginning. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate.
Kay's place is like a second home. Problem is, I don't really have a first. I do odd jobs at evening hours. Lift crates, stock shelves, sweep floors. It's not... Nope, just, make sure you wipe your feet. You track mud in, then someone's gotta sweep it out. Most days, that's me. Take it easy.
One quiet day. That'd do one.
Even just the sound of his voice.
Well, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? What else did you learn? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. Was there anything else? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? Conviction. Another word for strength. Can the truth not be revealed to the weak? Someone with doubts. So that's your intention. Your friends, your companions, all of them will be swept along to the answer by the might of your forward momentum? Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
And yet it would seem it did not work out. do not like the cold. Stiffens the joints, lowers reaction times.
Too late. Client needed it by a certain date. Goods might as well be rotten. Only creds will do. Look alive!
Captain, landing procedure initiated.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
And your scan shows...
starting to make sense. You should come aboard. There's another Starborn here who is very interested in meeting you.
I can speak for myself. Constellation ship, you weren't invited to this meeting, but much of our conversation has been about you. It's only fitting you should join us. I will personally guarantee your safety as long as you come in peace.
And think of it as a ceasefire meeting. You're one shot at getting those answers you must desperately want. Not a bad description, actually.
We'll explain when we meet. In person.
Good. See? We can all get along. For now.
Dad, have you ever tried Aurora?
Well... Not in a long time, sweetheart. Not since you were born.
What was it like?
Terrible. Terrible. It was terrible. You stay away from that stuff, Cora. Trust me, it's the worst. Board is clear. We're docked.
Lay it on me. Listen, you risked your life to save me. I keep wondering if that made it harder to save Sarah, too. I've replayed those moments in my mind over and over. And you need to know that you did what a leader does. And if it had been me instead of her, I would feel at peace knowing that she made it. I know, but I can't help it. I don't know if you're ready to talk, or if you need 20 years to get to that point, or if you never want to talk about it again. But I just want you to know that if you do, I'm here for you. When Irvin was killed in the war, people said it was random. The wrong place at the wrong time. I bet Mateo will soon tell me that the cosmic balance of me being in the right place at the right time was compensation. But in the end, it doesn't work that way, does it? Random is just random. Of course you do. We all do. Take whatever time you need. Just please don't remove yourself from our lives. Not after all this. We can't lose anyone else. But it is happening, or rather it has happened. It is up to us to make sure it never happens again. Sarah was our leader. She was the light in Aja's eye, and she kept everything together. She would tell you right now that this was not your fault. She would want us to focus and solve this problem together. Well, that sounds nice and lovely. I hope it's true. But we still benefit from our memories and the things we've learned from those who have gone. And that can be enough, too. You know, we're fortunate. Constellation brought us all together, and we're all better for it. If we're going to set things right, it's going to be because of that. Got a minute to chat? Maybe a few minutes. Probably not hours, though. But no guarantees. I've been thinking a lot about my early days in Constellation lately. Got me pretty nostalgic, and I started digging in some old things. Just sort of reminiscing. I found some of Irvin's last messages to me and thought I'd listen to them again to hear his voice. I guess I didn't think of it that way, but yes, it was sad. It was also comforting, though. So most of the messages were everyday things. Lots of excitedly written news about biodiversity and plant life. But one thing stood out. In one of his messages, he mentioned this job that he took at a mine shortly before he died. He said something terrible was happening there, but the message was garbled after that. True, but this was different. I recognized this pattern from the war. A portion of the message was encrypted. Well, Vasco helped me decipher it. Turns out the message was from Irvin, and he was begging me to help him. The message was short, but his voice was pained. He was so upset. Yes. Hearing his voice in so much pain was very difficult. I wish I had noticed this message when he sent it. So in this message, Irvin said he was being framed. He said they'll do it again. He asked if Constellation could send more help. I understand that. Trust me. But I still want to know what happened. He mentioned a court case. So there's a paper trail. Now, I happen to have a trustworthy contact who knows a bit about law and owes me a favor. I'd need to pay in advance in case there are any access fees or bribes. That makes sense. Irvin was one of us, after all. You know, hearing Irvin's voice again made me want to help him, even though I know I can't. Does that make any sense? You're right. It is what it is. But being able to find out answers, maybe even right some wrongs, that could mean a lot. Hopefully poking around in old records doesn't catch the attention of Hephaestus. Well, anyway, I'll let you know if my contact finds anything. Finally. Let's get out of here. Last one to the ship is a rotten Prasada berry.
If you get into trouble, Barrett, you know where to find me.
You got it.
Did you need something?
Hello. Again.
Ordinarily, I'm all for letting bygones be bygones. But petty revenge is looking really attractive.
Do you remember the emissary, perhaps? And their ship, the Helix? I believe they ambushed you above Neon and demanded that artifact you worked so hard to gain.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise. Yes, we did. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We are all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship, demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should.
If you all don't want to be helpful, I'm sure we can do something that'll get your attention.
Yes. Let's talk about what really matters.
The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
You've really come a long way since the Welcome to Constellation speech, haven't you? I'm not who you think I am. This universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. Where I came from, I was the one who stayed at the lodge to protect the artifacts. You died on board the Eye while we held off the Hunter.
One of me, at least.
I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours. And that's the problem. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. Innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They use the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifacts to establish an order where they decide who's worthy. I attacked your lodge because I wanted the artifacts, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? You're learning. My other self wants you to walk the path he walks, to give up, to appreciate the universe you have. Easy for a person who's seen everything, done everything. I think you should see it for yourself.
You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the Unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides.
We need to talk about this first. This is moving too fast.
I want a truce between all three of us. Give you some time to think over which approach to the Unity is the one you want. Mine, or the Hunters.
Yes. Let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember, one of us isn't trying to judge you. The Unity is meant for whomever can get there. Don't fall for that talk of worthiness. They enter the Unity, take artifacts from others, employ force. All the things I do. I am many things, but I would never tell anyone what to do with their gifts. That is your decision, not someone else's. The emissary wants to become the judge of who gets to enter, but the Unity itself doesn't judge. To see what would happen, of course. You might not understand just how many times I've done this. Usually, you're the one who ends up dead, and whoever cries over your body goes on to become the emissary. Sometimes I manage to get you all bunched up and take care of the problem in one go. Sometimes the emissary has gotten to me first, and I never arrive. Hundreds and hundreds of variations of me, packing through Constellation. And it's almost never you. You making it to your ship on your own. It's new. I took it as a sign. I don't get many of those anymore. No, we always end up having this meeting at this time. But it's the usual affair. Can we make peace? No. Oh, how tragic. Honestly, I was beginning to wonder why I kept attending. And it's a bad habit I started a long time ago. Perhaps I just like meeting the emissary to gloat. But you have provided something quite new to talk about. Maybe you're a random die roll. Or maybe the Unity is finally responding to all my hard work. Whoever created the artifacts and built those temples is playing a game with us. One whose prize is access to the center of all creation. There are no rules. Whoever gets all the pieces wins. And I've won. Over and over. I don't kill for the Unity. I find the easiest pathway to it. I've simply found that it's the quickest way. Talking, forming alliances, waiting for the right moment to commit theft. It's all so tiresome. I'll admit, you getting away has been the most interesting thing to happen in quite some time. As soon as I realized what had happened, I knew I needed to wait until this meeting with the emissary to decide what to do about you.
I'm sure you have more questions. I know we are not the same people we met in our universes. Still, it is good to... When all the artifacts are assembled, the device they create is called the Armillary. In many ways, it's a model of the multiverse itself. Through it, you can reach the Unity. And from there, you can become Starborn. You've seen the terror the Hunter causes. Every time a Starborn goes through the Unity, they get more artifacts, find more temples, gain more power. We can't let more like him abuse these gifts to destroy whatever's in their way. It's not an easy experience to describe, but the Unity will speak to you, offer you the chance to become Starborn. You will be leaving this universe behind to be reborn. Everything you were before will be gone. Maybe that's why it offers the choice. Compassion? Or is it testing us? Different. I never know who you are when I meet a new version, but so much of you stays the same. It's hard. But each universe is precious in its own way. Mine will never have its original you in it again, as yours won't have its real me. Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also a lesson in how dangerous they can be. Seek the moon of Old Earth. There are secrets there you must discover for yourself. Here, to open the way. Yes, I will say no more. That is all I ask. I hope you see what I have seen. You should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure they have gathered more information on the remaining artifacts in the fringes of space. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.
Shotgun!
Yes? What is it? I have sharpened the blade for this very occasion. Just in case we need it.
You two go on. I have academic journals to review, and the galaxy's cheesiest hoagie to devour.
An interesting mix of activities. I hope they are both enjoyable.
Textbook there. We're free.
Sometimes amuses me to think about what goes on here, right under the United Colonies' collective note.
Mateo told us about your pilgrim's voyage.
You found it, didn't you? The meaning of unity. Wait, say that again? Multiple universes?
You can't possibly mean what I think you mean.
Yes, I wouldn't mind a little more detail. I don't even want to think about the physiological changes you'd need to travel between universes. Plus what it would do to the mind? Enlightenment? Or oblivion? Like the Hunter.
You have the opportunity to reach the closest thing to your god that might exist. And you're second-guessing it?
One doesn't approach the afterlife without some trepidation. You're right. This is a lot to take in.
Not to make a sharp turn in a grand tale, but I got the eye fixed up. Bruised, but still blinking. Let me know when you're ready to follow up on what it's seen.